Welcome, everybody. Here we have Randy Weinzweig from SBW Sales, and we're doing a Fireside podcast today. Randy comes with many decades of sales and marketing training. He has a love of photography and a passion for a fun thing called magic. One of the things that he's done that's really interesting is he's done sales and marketing training. He helps teams of people from Fortune 100 companies to just a small entrepreneur starting up on how to get the sales process and marketing processes and how to do it with intrigue and really help your clients. So, Randy, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay, well, let's start off with my first passion, which was magic. And basically, that started when I was 5 years old. I got to tell you, I had a magician at my party. And unlike all the other kids at my party, I knew I wanted to learn how to do that. Magic became part of my process in terms of sales over the years. And what it was a great door opener. And what it did is it got me, whenever I got in front of a customer, they would always ask me to do a trick. And boy, did that ever break the ice. It was great. I also got invited to do many of my clients' Christmas events over the years as well. And that was a lot of fun for me. That was a lot of fun for me. And also, one of the other things that I really enjoy is taking pictures at concerts. I've been taking pictures at concerts for many years. And I'll tell you a funny story. One of my first experiences taking pictures at a concert was 1978. And I was taking pictures of Genesis at the time. And I was sitting in the second row. And believe it or not, Phil Collins actually pointed me out. And he said, "That guy over there is taking pictures." And he's pointed to security. They actually took my camera away. And here's a funny part of the story. It was a film camera, for those of you who remember film. And basically, one of the funny things that happened was they actually never took my film away. So I actually kept the pictures, and I got a beautiful 20 by 24 image that I kept from that. And from that day forward, I've shot hundreds and hundreds of concerts. And then I got a passion for sales. When I was going to I went to school in photography. I studied photography at school. And one of the things I did that I learned from my father was sales. My father was in handbag sales, and I learned from him. I used to follow him on sales calls, and I learned how to make a sales call from him. And basically, what happened was, I had my passion for photography and my passion for sales grew together. And when the last thing I learned I was finishing photo school was that there was, for every photographer that was starting, there was about 25 that were quitting. And that didn't seem like a good number to me. I thought to myself, you know what? I can combine the two. I could be really successful at doing both. And I went out and I started knocking on doors until I got that first job in sales. And until this day, I've been doing that.
That's great, great stories. But you do sales and marketing. So it's not just about the sales, it's about the marketing also. So how do you train a big group of people and how did it translate to your business, like training people and teaching people and mentoring people?
So basically, what I've done over the years is I've done many, many sales trainings. I've actually had to introduce a new line of products at a multinational company in one of my first jobs in the industry. And what happened was one of the tasks that I was given was to go across the country and I had to teach people how to sell the product. And what I did is, there's different ways of selling products. There's a tactile way, there's an auditory way, there's a visual way. And what I found was that the tactile way of getting the product into people's hands and getting them to try the products and bringing them up on stage to show other people how to use the products made that stand out. And over the years, I've trained many people. I've also done training for executives as well. I've done training for executives. I've done national accounts, taught national accounts people how to sell as well. So I've done many, many trainings over the years.
And I'm sure throughout COVID and the pandemic, a lot of people complained about business going down, but you actually created a new way of doing things. So tell us a little bit about that.
So basically what happened was there's two things that happen in our industry. Number one, because of being in the photo industry, what happened was there was two things that happened. One of them was that I had one of the things that happened was that telephones became the way that most people were taking pictures. So we had to combat that. That was one area. And also being a B2B business, we were a B2B business for many, many years. And then we turned and became a B2C. We actually developed a website to sell directly to the end user as well. And that opened up a whole marketplace. The other thing that made it different for us was that we became we had the exclusive rights for the products that we carried. So that gave us an edge as well. So in Canada, we have the exclusive rights for the different product categories that we offer. And that's what makes us stand out.
On that, and that's just for photography and accessories, but you also do trainings and in marketing and in sales globally, don't you?
Absolutely. We've taught people across the globe and across North America how to sell their products, how to sell their services. And basically it's a matter of sorry, I got lost again.
That's okay. This is all about, getting
Yeah,
to
yeah,
know
yeah.
you. This is
Yeah,
good.
yeah. That's okay. That's okay. So basically, what we've done is we've done a lot of training and marketing and teaching people how to market their products. And there's different ways to market your products. And what we've done is we've we've captured a lot of those different techniques. And basically, we've done that along with sales because marketing and sales have to work together. And basically, what one of the examples I can give you is over the years, I worked for another multinational company. And basically, what happened was I was given the task. It was a multi-million-dollar company. I was given the task of having to grow the business by another 10%. We're up about 20% growth year over year, and I was given the task of growing it to 30 to 35%. And I knew I couldn't do this by myself. And here's where, back then, sales and marketing used to work independently. So we worked together and we created a program whereby every time somebody sold either, in this case, you could sell a service or a product. It could be either way. And basically what happened was we became very successful because every time one of the groups of people that sold one of these products, they got their name entered into a contest. And every month we gave away prizes. We gave away TVs. We gave away restaurant certificates. At the end of it, we gave away a trip, a very nice cruise. And it was great. It grew our business by 35% year over year for 5 years in a row.
That's great. And
So
that's
it was a huge
so
success.
incentivizing your employees and your teams, that makes a huge difference. Now, you came, actually, you weren't originally from Ontario, Canada. You were from Montreal, but you came to Ontario to go to university, which was currently called TMU, but before was called Ryerson. So tell us a little bit about your experience at Ryerson, now known as Toronto Metropolitan University.
Okay, well, basically what happened was I was going to school at CEGEP in Montreal. For those who don't know, that's before college or university in Quebec. You go to CEGEP, and I was taking a course. I was taking a different road in terms of what I was going to do. I took a photography class at that school, and I actually won a photo contest, and I got one of my pictures up in the one of the stores downtown Montreal. And my teacher at the time told me, he said, this is what you really need to be doing. You need to be in photography. And I thought to myself, you know what? This guy's right. And so I started to work on my portfolio. And basically what happened was I ended up going to school in Canada at the time. And for every 500 students, they chose 50 to be able to take this course. And back then, it was not only photography; it was also film. So I did photography and film for a year, and then I studied. Then I studied photography for another 3 years, and that's what I got my degree in. I got my Bachelor of Applied Arts in photography.
Well, that sounds like fun. So you've basically decided that you're not working a day of your life because you're doing your passion. You're doing what you love to do, correct?
Correct. I absolutely every day. And I still love it. I still take pictures. I still love taking pictures at family events. I'm the photographer. I also love to take pictures. I go to hundreds of concerts. I'm also a scuba diver. When I was 16, I learned how to scuba dive. And one of my other passions is taking underwater photography. And I've been doing that for 20 plus years as well.
So
And every time I
do you
go on,
train others to do scuba diving too? Are you a master trainer in scuba, or is that
I
coming
never became
soon?
a master trainer, but I have done different dives. I've done night diving, I've done wreck diving, I've done all kinds of different dives.
So apparently in Tobermory is a really big dive site in Ontario. Have you gone to Tobermory before, or do you go like more exotic places for scuba diving?
I prefer warm water. So basically, yeah, I
Yeah,
prefer
it's
warm
very
water.
cold.
I prefer warm water. I had to do my training in a lake in Ontario, and basically that was very uncomfortable.
Okay.
And so what I do is when I travel and I go into different places, I actually love to go underwater where I don't have to wear a wetsuit. So
Yeah.
places where I don't have to wear a wetsuit, and I've been to many, is where I prefer to go. And I've probably dove about, I'd say, 20 to 30 times over the years.
That's very cool. That's really nice to hear. I hear that you've actually collaborated on several times and several instances with groups of people because they're sort of fitting with you. They make sense to what you're doing. So tell us a little bit more about collaboration and how you work well with others and how you, when you collaborate, you seem to have more business and you get to do more in the community and also your business rises exponentially.
Okay, so basically what it amounts to is there's a mastermind group that we've created, and it's very exciting. We're doing sales, we're doing website optimization, we're teaching communication, we're teaching marketing, we're teaching sales. And basically by that collaboration of getting four people that are experts in each one of these areas, it allows us to go out and touch more people and get and teach more people how to become very good at what they're doing, become experts in their field. Instead of for every real estate agent that starts up in Toronto, there's probably 100 that are quitting. So basically what we're doing is we're teaching them how to not be a quitter. How do you become one of the ones that stands out? How do you become a winner? How do you become a winner at what you do? And we teach people how to become those winners.
Great. Good. That sounds like I'm looking forward to hearing more. So basically you do classes and you do masterminds and you help others. So you've had a really interesting life. So how is it that you unwind? You said something about going to concerts. So who's your favorite music artist and what's your favorite kind of music that you like to listen to and what's your favorite concert that you like to go to?
Well, I'd say, I can give you a top 10 list, but the one that really stands to mind is Bruce Springsteen. I followed
The
him,
boss, he's your boss.
the boss, he's my boss. And basically, I've been a fan of his since I was 16 years old. And I remember my sister coming back from Israel, and she came back from a trip, and she told me, "You have to listen to this guy, you have to listen to this music." And she put on Born to Run. And I remember listening to Born to Run and hearing that for the first time and thinking to myself, wow, this is amazing. This is incredible. I love this guy. And about a couple of years later, saw him at Madison Square Gardens. That was the first time I saw him. And I'm actually going to see him again in Montreal in October 31st, Halloween. And it's going to be the 60th time I've seen him since 1980.
Wow. So
So
you count each time you see him? Wow.
I even have the
Okay.
ticket stubs.
Oh, wow. That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's so do you have to get dressed up that day or you just go as yourself?
Well, I hope, people always ask me, he must know you by now. But you know what? I know people that have seen him hundreds of times. So,
No, but it's
so it,
Halloween. You're going on Halloween. So that's why I
oh,
was asking if you're dressed
dressed
up.
up, right? Of course, of course, of course. Yes, I don't think so. I think I'm going to wear a shirt that said this is my 60th concert.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah,
Okay. That's
yeah. I
great.
think that's what I'm going to do.
Do you follow him around the world at his concerts or is there just North America that you go to?
North America for now. One of my bucket lists is to see him in Europe for sure.
Wow. So does he know you by name yet or is that not a thing?
He doesn't know me by name, but I think he does know me. I've met him about four times over the years. And, it's one of those things where if you know somebody and you're good with, you're good with faces, not great with names, and you see somebody that you haven't seen in 20 years and you kind of get that look, that's kind of how it is with Bruce.
Oh, that's
It's
nice. That's
yeah,
great. So,
yeah.
okay, so who would be your, no, let's not even go there. I was gonna say your least favorite, but that's not even fun. That we're not gonna go there. So is there any kind of music you don't like?
Um, I like I have a very eclectic taste. My parents introduced me to music at a very young age, and so I listen to opera. I listen to a lot of classical music. I listen to a lot of Gilbert and Sullivan. I listen to people like Neil Diamond. So my taste is all over the map, and my taste of going to concerts is all over the map as well. I go see different types of shows. So
Oh,
yes.
that's great. So if I were to ask you your favorite magic tricks, what would be your three magic tricks that you love to share?
Oh, that's
You don't even have to do it right now because you probably weren't even aware that I was going to ask that question, but you can tell about it.
Okay, so basically, my favorite three favorite magic tricks when I was doing it for 20 years back then, when I did it more often. I still do it to this day. Obviously, I still do magic, but I love working with cards. I love working with coins, and believe it or not, I even worked with live animals. I had two doves when I was growing up. That I used to do kids parties. I used to do parties for events as well, and basically their names were Hocus and Pocus.
Cute, very
Yeah,
cute.
thank you, thank you. I thought so.
Yeah. Oh, poor Hocus and Pocus. They probably flew away and went go back home. So tell me more about, I want to hear more about your sales and marketing experience. I really want to hear how the marriage or how they get together and tell us more about how you do trainings and what your favorite thing is and how you like to help people because yes, a multinational company, but also like, is it the CEO that you work with? Is it, the workers at the bottom or do you work at all levels?
That's a good question. I work at all levels. So basically, over the years, I've done a lot of different trainings and for different multinational companies, and I work everything from the CEO down. And basically, what I'm doing is I'm teaching them how to work within their organization and finding their pain points. And basically, once you find the pain points, you're helping an organization grow. And so basically what you're doing is you're trying to find what doesn't work for them in their organization. What is it that's slowing them down from growing as an organization? It could be something as simple as maybe there's an issue with accounting, maybe there's an issue with the warehouse. Sometimes you'll find the simplest things, and once you get those things corrected, then it's a matter of getting, growing the rest of the business and getting and being successful. And that's how it works. It's just basically finding those pain points.
That's great. You keep talking about multinationals. Did you work with any Fortune 100 companies also?
Absolutely. I've worked with many Fortune 100 companies over the years. And basically what I've done is I've taught them how to increase their sales or service especially by having sales and marketing work together is very important, and teaching them how to do that.
And
And
working with processes, or do you just do like is every company the same in the general sense of it, or are they each one totally different, or do you have
every
a
every company
process?
every company is different in terms of their processes and how they work within those processes. And basically what happens is you work with them within their process, and you show them how to do it better. So basically what you want to do is you don't want to be like a catch up, you don't want to be another Heinz. You want to be on the outside looking in. You want to be one of the ones that's different, what makes our company stand out. And that's what we teach. That's what I teach. I teach companies how to stand out from the rest.
Great. I mean, yes, because I can't think of any other ketchup name other than Heinz, so that's a really that's a good analogy. If I were to ask you three different things about, like, everybody fails in one time or another, but what are the three things that helped you to fail forward, which means like if you didn't have that mistake, that you wouldn't be great today. So what are the three things that you really learned from that helped you be the better person you are today?
Okay, so if I had to think of three items or three things that happened to me, basically one of them would be definitely over the years, I've helped many multinational companies build their businesses up by millions of dollars. And what I did is I did that at my own expense. So basically, I did that at my cost, at my expense, because I never got paid properly. So basically, I was not given the right amount to be able to do this, and I did this for many companies over the years. I was very
By the way,
young.
I'm going to interrupt you right now. I feel that you're not undervaluing yourself, but you were giving help to them, and maybe you didn't get the paycheck that you needed, but you were definitely helping them in a strong way, correct?
Absolutely, very. Thank you for clarifying that. So basically, what happened was I showed them and I taught them how to build their business. I showed them how to increase their business by millions of dollars, and basically they undervalued. I was a bit undervalued in terms of the paycheck, in terms of what I was receiving for doing that. And basically, the last company that I worked for before I went out on my own, basically what happened was they undervalued they their growth. They couldn't keep up with their growth. They didn't have enough funds to keep going, so they had to close their business. And that gave me the opportunity to grow my own business.
So you learn from any mistakes that you did in the past that really helped you to grow your own business and to grow your own self-worth, right?
Absolutely. It's a matter of growing your own self-worth, being confident. Confidence is very important. And trust, you have to build trust with your customers. You've got to build, and it's about building relationships. I've built relationships for the last 20 that I kept for the last 20 plus years. And it's about building those relationships with your customers and maintaining those relationships, because you never know where someone's going to end up. You never
So
know.
so customers for life.
It's customers for life. Absolutely, 100%.
So when I think about that, I think about you go to the old cash register and somebody clicks in some numbers and then you're done. And then you get a receipt, usually a paper receipt, and then you're next. So you don't believe in the transaction, you believe in the building rapport and having these customers that are your friend, become your friends, correct?
Absolutely, and it goes on, because what happens is once you build that trust with a customer, basically what happens is they'll open up to you and they'll tell you what's not working with their business. They'll be happy to tell you, you know what, Randy, I'm having a problem with this company today, or I'm having a problem with this supplier, or I'm having a problem with this new this new product that I brought in, and I'm not sure how I should best promote it. And so basically what I do is I go in and I show them how to promote it, how to sell that product or how to sell that service. And by doing that, it increases my value to them.
That's great. So I know that you do a lot of work in the community and you give back of yourself and of your company. You do donations and you do lots of cool things. So tell me about, what does community mean to you?
Community is very important. Very back even 20 years ago, I was working with many different organizations, giving back. And I think it's important that you work within your community and within your, whether it's religious, spiritual, whatever it is that works for you. And it's very important to give back, because I find that if you give back, it always comes back to you tenfold. And
Absolutely.
it's very, very important thing to do.
Okay, so that's really important to note. And if I had three questions to ask you that you feel are the most important things in business, what are those three things?
Well, number one, I guess trust is very important. I think trust, you got to build trust. Relationships, you got to build a relationship. And number two, you've got to always focus on what your bottom line and your bottom line and your ROI. What's your return on investment in terms of your business? And as long as you keep focused on growth as well, I'd throw in a fourth there, but as long as you focus in on growth as well and continued growth and what you need to do to achieve those goals, you'll be successful. And you have to be confident. You have to be confident.
That's great. We really appreciate that. Now, we don't have very much time left for talking, but if you could give three different items, and I keep saying three, apparently it's my number today. But if you three things that you've learned the most that are your ideals, they're things that you use every single day. What are those three things that you can share with our audience?
I think the three things that I learned that I use every day, number one is empathy. I think you've got to be empathetic, not only to your friends, to your colleagues, to your customers. You be confident. You got to be confident when you get up, and you've got to be, and loyal to yourself and loyal to your customers. I think these three things are very, very important, and these three things can make you very successful.
And is there any last tidbits or any summary or anything that you want to share for the last few minutes of our podcast today?
I think this is great. I think this will lead to other things we can talk about, and I'm very happy with the success I've gained over the years. I'm very happy with where my business is going. I think this is great. I'm very happy with the way that this has gone.
There is one other thing. I know that you've been a mentor to others, so you've been doing coaching, you've been doing mentoring, but how does it feel to be a mentor? And you were mentored before, but now you're the mentor. So what does it feel to be a mentor and a coach?
It's very rewarding. I would say that it's very rewarding to be able to teach someone how to be successful, to be able to teach someone how to get out from under their fears, because everyone has different fears. And basically what we do is I teach people how to get over those fears. How do you get over those fears and become more confident? And I think once you do that, I think it's a huge success in my mind. And it really, really makes my day.
Thank you. And we've been speaking with Randy Weinzweig from SBW Sales, and I will put on his website so you can reach out to him. He'd be happy to talk to you. And thank you so much today for reaching out and talking with us. And you've reached Tova G and Randy Weinzweig at SBW Sales Fireside Podcast. And thank you so much, Randy, for your time today.
Thank you.